Well, look at what we have here. A CVA Cascade long-range hunter in 7 PRC. I want to talk about this rifle, and let's get into it now. All right, so I got to talk about this rifle. First of all, it is my rifle, and it's a brand new rifle. Well, it had 5 shots fired through it, but I didn't buy it. This was a gift. A viewer of the channel named Charlie reached out to me, wanted to give me a rifle, and I, kind of said, I don't think that's necessary, but thank you. He insisted. We FaceTimed and talked about some rifles that he had, and he just wanted to donate to the channel, and we settled upon this one. This is a CVA Cascade Long Range Hunter, and this scope is a Vortex Gen 2 Viper PST, 5 to 25 by 50. This ranks right up there with the 30-06 that my uncle gave me as about the greatest gift I've ever received in my entire life. So I am beyond thrilled and grateful. And so, Charlie, I want to thank you, really, really thank you for this. You are too kind. I have wanted to get a 7 PRC for a while, but I ended up getting a 708 instead in my Tiga T3X. And I'm happy that I did, but I've, flirted with and toyed with getting a 7 PRC since it first came out. I've seen several people do videos on the CVA Cascades, including Hootie Hoo and Backfire. And everyone seems to have the same sentiment that they're very accurate and they're a good rifle. And so this is my first thoughts on the CVA Cascade, and it's gonna be a cool thing to be able to shoot the 7 PRC. I have never shot it. I've talked about it on the channel. Before it ever came out, I talked about it, but I've never actually had a chance to shoot one. So this is gonna be really cool. I'm really excited. I am planning on getting some really good velocity from the 7 PRC. It had a definite peak in popularity and got a little bit overhyped. And then because of Hornady's powder shortage, where they had to, switch out powders and their factory ammo wasn't getting the same velocity as it had been, they kind of had a pendulum swing away from the hype to kind of the hate. And so there's a lot of people that overhyped the 7 PRC and a lot of people that now hate it. But I am excited. I've always said it was a good cartridge. Looking forward to seeing what it can do. I do know that, one of the negatives about it is it got overhyped and they said it would get certain velocities when it really won't, unless you have a 26-inch barrel and or the certain powder that it needs, which from what I've heard is reloader 26, maybe reloader 25. But I'm excited to take on that challenge. I definitely want to get good velocities. I'm probably going to start with 162 grain bullets because that's what I have currently. I actually have quite a few 7mm bullets, but they're all lighter bullets for the 708. But I'm going to start with 162. I do plan on shooting 175, 180, and 195, and try to find the right powder to get really good velocity. I might be using some ball powders and things that most people haven't used. They just kind of stick to the old stick powders. So I'm excited to be looking at that. This video, though, is going to be about this rifle. I'll just tell you that I wouldn't say anything bad about this rifle, even if I didn't like it. It's a gift. Charlie sent this to me as a gift, and so if I really didn't like it, I wouldn't tell you. I would just say the things about it I liked, and I would move on. Having said that, I'll be very honest with you. I'm overjoyed. I'm a bit smitten with this rifle. Of the different varieties of the CVA Cascade Long Range Hunter, this is by far the nicest looking one to me. The stock is this black spiderweb grayish color, and then it has that smoked bronze Cerakote. But I definitely like this stock the best of all the ones that they have. I love the scope. It's aesthetically pleasing, which I know shouldn't be a big deal for a scope, but it looks really good. And the gun just looks really good. But when I pulled this out of the box, started messing with it, I liked it more and more and more and more. First of all, the trigger, and yes, this is unloaded. Trigger is amazing out of the box. That's a good trigger. The bolt, you know, I haven't looked this up yet. This is my first impressions. It's not really a deep dive. I'm gonna say it's a 50 or 60 degree bolt lift. It is pretty smooth, you know. It kind of has that Ruger American feel to it, which is not a bad thing. Feels good. Definitely an upgrade from like a Savage Axis or a Winchester XPR, something like that. Maybe a slight downgrade from a Tikka, but pretty good. The bolt handle, that large bolt handle, kind of that Target style bolt handle, I think it's awesome. Yeah, got a kind of a standard safety here. The fit and finish overall, this looks really good. I remember when I got my XPR, this bolt shroud wiggled around. This thing is very solid, feels good. But you just look at the lines, and like I said, the fit and finish, it looks good. It really does. I love, there's a pretty good gap. I'll probably show a close-up of this. There's a really big gap on the free-floating part of the barrel. I mean, it's not touching that stock, and it's not even close, and I like that. The stock, I love this stock. I really do. Not only does it have this cheek riser, which is cool, which I have already adjusted it to what feels good for me. Just kind of get it up there and bam. But it looks good, and it feels good. It has nice pistol grip here, nice panels right here. I really like, I'm giving the stock a 10 out of 10. I really like it. The recoil pad seems good. It does have a muzzle brake on it, which is going to be nice. The magazine comes out really easy and goes in really easy. Like, there are some that I have that work fine, but you gotta just get them in there just right. That one is really nice. Yeah, I've not chambered around yet even for it, so I don't know how it functions. I'm assuming good, but as far as just going in and out, really good. Has your 3 swivel studs for slings or bipods, 2 up here in the front, so you could have a sling and a bipod attached at the same time. This rifle is on the heavy side. It weighs, I think, 8.7 pounds, and then that scope is just under 2 pounds. I think it's 31 ounces. Add in the rings and the base and all that, you probably got about somewhere between 10 3/4 and 11-pound gun. So this is not a light gun. They did flute the barrel, so they took out a little bit of weight there, so that'll help somewhat. But as the name implies, this is the long-range hunter. So this is not made to be a lightweight mountain rifle. It's made to be a very accurate long-range hunting rifle. The bolt release over here is pretty nice, kind of like a Mauser-style bolt release. I'm honestly overjoyed. This exceeds my expectations. You know, I'm going to take it out and shoot it with some factory ammo. I believe 175 grain ELDX that I have. I'm also going to do a video, a coffee and cartridges video, all about the 7PRC. Talk about how I think it compares to some other cartridges. But I'm just through the roof. This is really cool. And what an amazing gift. Even though the rifles are completely different, it kind of is going to be a nice combo with my 708. So my Tikka T3X stainless 708 also has a Vortex scope on here with the same dimensions, I believe. You know, 30mm tube, a 50mm objective. This is a nicer one though. I have the standard Viper. This is the Viper PST Gen 2. This is a nicer scope. But then I have a 708 and now a 7PRC. So that's kind of a nice combo. And both rifles are just really nice. Like I said, I haven't shot it, haven't even cycled around, haven't messed with the scope. I just put the scope on, got it where I wanted it, got the cheek riser set up, and got in front of the camera, and now I'm talking to you. So I am very happy with this rifle. More than I think even explaining, I'm really happy with it. Like when I got it in person, I was like, wow, this is really nice. I am interested. Do you guys have a CVA Cascade? Do you have the Long Range Hunter? What about this PST Gen 2 Viper scope. Love to hear about that too. And I'm excited to see what it can do. I'm going to put it through its paces. I'm going to try to find out its potential. I don't have Reloader 26, and so I'm going to be using some other powders and trying to figure out if I can find some really cool loads. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you liked it. Comment with some of the things I talked about below. Love to read about it. Share this video if you think it's worth sharing. And until next time, guys, take care.